Alrighty, Sim and You. This is a very, very basic tutorial of the basic things you need to fly Sim. This is for people who are very, very new to this, or people who are just starting to get into the Sim theater and want to try War Thunder Sim for the first time. War Thunder Sim is very pick up and play. It's fairly easy to get the hang of, but I want to give you guys some starting points for where to start and how to take off, how to land, how to do some basic things, and what are the basic keybinds that you might need. So, other than your basic control keybinds, I have mine for my SciTech Pro Flight X56. I have pitch, roll, yaw. I have a rudder pedal as well. I as well have my throttle set up, as well as all of your boosters, igniting, all of your weapons stuff. Set that up the way you want it. That's really just up to personal preference. But a keybind that you very, very, very much need, if I can find it, is Trim Aircraft. This is an auto trim, so you hit the button you have it bound to, and it will trim your aircraft to whatever you're inputting on your flight stick. I have mine set up as the T key on my keyboard. This will help you fly in a straight line and not have to micromanage how you fly. This is the one keybind I 100% recommend everybody starts, everybody sets it up with, everybody needs it, because this makes your life a lot easier. So, welcome to a simulator battle. The first thing you're going to notice is that you are confined to the cockpit. Now, I have it set up on my joystick to where I have a little secondary joystick where I can look around. I can see a 360-degree view. This is for when I am not in VR. I am mainly a VR player when it comes to Sim. But, for today's purposes, I will be confined to the cockpit like this with no VR. So, look to your right. Make sure everything's working. So, input a right turn on your right side and a left turn on your left side, just to make sure everything is working the way you have it set up, and up on the elevator and down on the elevator. Now that I know that everything's set up correctly with my joystick, I will move my throttle. By moving my throttle, I make sure everything is set up, and now I know I have everything the way I want it to. So I'm going to hit my ignition key, which by default is I. I will start my engine. With my engine started, I usually wet my throttle to take off. You don't have to. I just like to be in the air as quick as I can. I will use my rudder to keep myself on the runway. My tail will come up, my nose will go down, and now I will start pulling my aircraft into the air. Like that. Now I will raise my gear, I will raise my flaps, and we are in the air. But you'll notice, and I will take my hand off the stick to show you here in a second, that my plane is trying to fight off to my left and down. I'm releasing my joystick now, and that is the torque of the engine pulling me down. This is why we trim. So, I will get my plane to a nice level and even flight, right where I want it, and I will hit my trim key, which I have bound to T. And that will set my trim. And now, you see that it's not cranking itself down to my bottom left. Now, your trim will change if I change my throttle. So if I bring my throttle down, it'll start changing how it performs and how it turns. Throttle up, it goes back to the same spot. What I would recommend doing is getting up to an altitude that you feel comfortable with and then setting your trim that you are going to be fighting at. Basic landing procedures. Right now, I am lined up with my airfield. It is slightly below my nose, so I can't necessarily see it from where I'm at. But I am going to ease my throttle down, I am going to bleed speed, and I am going to get down to a safe airspeed to drop my landing gear. You see the airfield ahead. I'm dumping my nose because I want to be able to see it. I'm going to flare it. So that way I'm flaring hard. I'm losing airspeed. I'm going to get about 220 miles an hour. And I'm going to drop my landing gear and flaps. My landing gear and flaps are going to cause a massive amount of drag, which is going to slow me down greatly. My flaps are going to actually give me more lift. So I am actively pushing my nose down so I can see the runway and so I can bring myself in nice and gently. Now I'm going to very, very slowly nose up, let myself start losing more and more velocity. This is going to be a little in front of the runway, but that's okay. I'm going to bounce. I'm going to wait until both of my landing gear, all three, are on the ground, and now I'm going to start alternating my brakes right and left. I alternate right and left so that way I don't absolutely nosedive and crunch my nose into the front of the airfield. That's very, very important because if you do so, you might, fall down and flip your plane over. I pushed my brake a little too hard on my left side, so I swung around to my right, and now I am landed, safe and sound on the airfield. So, basic stall recovery. Everybody's been in a stall, everybody hates them. And for those new to this, you might not know how to get out of one. So, I'm going to show you. This is in a P-51D5. It's a fairly easy plane to get out of stalls in, and it's fairly hard to stall. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to crank my nose back. I'm going to pull hard back on the stick, and I am going to punch in hard right rudder. Ready? And now, I am in a stall. I'm going to push my nose forward to get my nose down, and I'm going to apply opposite rudder. You see my stall start to slow. You see my nose start to push down. You see me regain airspeed. And now my nose is down. I am out of the stall. I'm just going to pull back slowly on the stick and pull out. And there you have it. You have now forced your plane to stall and recovered from it. And now you may go about your business fighting whoever you are fighting. And that, ladies and gentlemen, are the very basics of simulator battles. How to take off, how to land, and how to recover yourself if you find yourself in a stall. Now, I hope I see you guys out on the battlefield, and with that, I leave you. Thank you for watching.